Hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, and welcome to the Union Labor Advisory Network. I'm Mike Fina. ULA's mission and vision is to support, educate, and promote union labor in our communities. There are great careers that you could have within the building trades as well as public sector unions. We're here to shed light on those opportunities, what they're doing, what these jobs are all about, and highlight them across the ULA's platform. Oh, we're going live now. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Union Labor Advisory Network podcast, where we are sharing the stories of the people building our communities, strengthening our workforce, and shaping the future of American labor. Today, I'm extremely proud, again, as Mike Fina, your guest, and to be with a leader whose career reflects everything this platform stands for: commitment, craftsmanship, and community. Today, we're honored to have Kevin Casey, who's the business manager for IBEW Local 25, representing more than 2,000 highly skilled electricians across all of Long Island, with us today. Learn a little bit more about his background, history, and experience. I'm so fortunate to work alongside him, help support some of the media efforts and communication, and I'm inspired every day just meeting some of the members that are out there just doing the work and then just giving back to the community. So again, I spoke a lot, but Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Glad to be here in downtown Huntington. Great village down here.
This is incredible here.
Yeah, beautiful village. Like you said, I'm the business manager of Local 25. I'm in my 10th year as the business manager. I spent 9 years as a business agent. I've had every territory: Nassau County, Suffolk County, East End. I got 39 years in the union. 19 as a delegate and business manager. I've done pretty much everything in the local: executive board, shop steward, foreman. I'm a trustee on all our funds, our apprenticeship, committee. I'm a trustee on that. We're actually doing interviews right now. Tomorrow I'll be doing interviews for our apprenticeship. We had over 1,200 applicants for the apprenticeship. They have to take a state test, so 600 actually passed the test, so we got 600 interviews to do.
Wow. Over
the next, say, 4 months for approximately 50 positions, so it's very competitive, but we are, getting a ton of young folks, men and women, that really want to come into the apprenticeship. We've actually, the first day of applications, we had kids with tents pitched on the front grass of our union hall. So they know that the trades are, a good way to go. If you're not, if you don't want to go to college and you want a career, whether you want to be an electrician or a plumber, a carpenter, iron worker, the trades are the way to go.
Absolutely, and an electrician, the skill, the craftsmanship too, and all the diversification of what you can do as an electrician.
Yeah.
It spans the gamut.
Yeah, we go. You have low voltage, fire alarm, telephone work, all the way to high voltage work.
Yep.
Railroad work. Doing the substations and the third rail, powerhouses. Northport Powerhouse, Port Jeff Powerhouse. Shoreham, which was never up and running. I got a lot of members down at Belmont Racetrack right now. It's a big job going on. UBS Arena, Coliseum. We do it all. Nassau and Suffolk County. Like you mentioned, we got 2,000 active members, 1,000 retirees, about 4,800 dependents. Wives, husbands, and kids that are all part of our trust funds and health benefits. So, we're at every community, from Great Neck to, the Hamptons. We all, we cover, the whole gamut of Nassau and Suffolk County, and live in every community. We have members that live in.
Absolutely. And again, you want to hire the people that work within our community.
Absolutely.
Your communities. Yeah. I mean, this is where.
Yep.
The jobs
my members are the Boy Scout, leaders, and the softball coaches and football coaches, and. We do it all. I coach baseball and,
yep.
My kids and softball, my daughter. So
yep.
we do it all.
And I mean, again, as a 2,000 plus membership organization, and trying to keep everybody collectively connected as well. You have so many different clubs that you've established as well.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been really fortunate to meet a few different clubs. EWMC, we talked about a little bit as well.
Yeah, the EWMC is our Electrical Workers Minority Caucus. Very involved in the community. Anytime we have a volunteer project. If a politician reaches out to me, I call them up, and they go right down there and help out, whether it's in Brentwood, Huntington, whatever needs to be done. A little volunteer job, fixing up, putting some receptacles in, putting some lights in. Same with our Veterans Committee. We've renovated the Center Moriches VFW. We've done work on the Patchogue VFW. So if veterans have, they're the VFWs are getting older, and they don't really have the funding to fix them up. So if they reach out to the politicians, and politicians call myself and call the plumbers and carpenters, we'll go in there and we'll do it, for free. We'll just give them back to the community.
That's the again, I'm so fortunate to work with you guys and all the support that you've, in collaboration, helped with our charitable foundation with the Vets for Vets program. This past October, we had our third annual, of which you've been part of since the inception.
Great event, great event.
Yeah, and that grant that we got from the Joseph P. Dwyer grant, we got connected through Suffolk County Veteran Services, New York City Department of Veteran Services, and that one particular grant's initiative is community construction projects. So how we're collaborating with the building trades in Nassau, Suffolk, as well as New York City to identify those VFWs and American Legions, and then work with your members that are willing to do that, volunteer it. We need to document that and showcase that, work, and help really, how veterans are helping veterans in the process.
Yeah, like I said, with the VFWs, we did the volunteer work. The Mike Murphy Museum down in Sayville, we did all that. That was all, volunteer with the help of one of our contractors that really put a lot of money, with the material. Spent, he did a real great job. And I'll mention B&G Electric, Jim Giorgio. Great contractor, great man. He really stepped up, and if anybody goes down to that museum, it is a beautiful museum, and Mike Murphy deserves it. He's a Long Island hero, and he died for our country.
Yep.
So, and like I said, my son's a veteran. He's a second-year apprentice in my local. He spent 5 years in the Army right out of high school. He actually just re-up for the reserve, so I don't even know if he's a veteran now. He actually starts this weekend.
He's going back to reserve?
Well, it's just reserves, just the weekends. He's still in the apprenticeship. So, but like I said, any veterans out there, if you got a cause, give us a call. We don't turn anybody down. And helmets to hard hats. You want to talk about the helmets to hard hats? A lot of the apprentices coming in to all the trades. If you're a helmets to hard hats candidate coming out of Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, you come down and we'll get you into the apprenticeship.
Yeah, I mean, that's, for me, again, just learning when I lost my dad during COVID and just the support that I got from labor and understanding these particular programs like Helmets to Hard Hats. These are golden ticket, direct access programs for labor.
One of the best programs out there.
And again, being, in the military and just having that work ethic that you have to have and have to work as a team on certain projects, it really positions you to work within the labor organizations because you work together. And these are dangerous professions in many cases as well, so you need to make sure that your brother or sister right next to you is doing the right thing. You get the job done properly, and you go home with your family and make sure that you have live to work another day.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody wants to go home, and be with their family. So it's safety first.
Without a doubt. And then I look at that, and I've been so fortunate to go through so many different training centers, and that is optimal. Without safety, those OSHA classes and programs that are put into place to make sure that they're safe and these jobs are intact. Somebody gets hurt, that job stops. Things will go down. It's a whole nother flywheel of things that issues.
Yeah.
So
right now we even have it in our collective bargaining agreements now. You got to have the OSHA 30 and the SST cards before you even go out to work now.
Right.
There's no room for error anymore. You got to take the safety classes before you go out on a job site.
Okay, I'm seeing it now, and I've been fortunate to work with the Department of Ed. These pre-apprenticeship programs, so these BOCES schools out in Long Island.
Yeah.
Some of the things that IBEW, laborers, carpenters are putting into place. Now, the next generation, before, if they don't even go to college, they may already have their SST or OSHA card because they've learned it through a vocational school.
Yeah.
And they've gotten acclimated to say, you know what, college may not be for me, but these particular opportunities within the trades, I could still get my accreditation. I could still get my bachelor's being a IBEW member.
Sure.
With some of the training that you're getting and how that may apply to some of the universities that are out there.
Yeah. And like you said, with the BOCES, because we're doing interviews right now for our apprenticeship, and a good majority of the kids did the BOCES in high school. Usually, what they do is they go in the morning. For their junior and senior year, they'll go to the BOCES and then do their afternoon classes, or vice versa. And a lot of the kids are coming in, and we ask them, you went to BOCES, whether it was Nassau County or Eastern Suffolk or Bellport. And they all say, oh yeah, we got our OSHA. They got SST, so they already have it coming in. So it's good that BOCES is also making sure these kids are coming out of the BOCES programs as a 17, 18-year-old kid with all the OSHA classes.
Yeah. Again, NAPTU's developed their whole MC3 curriculum that has all the structured courses that are filling through, and I've seen that now they're working with universities, not just high schools, to make sure that we have a skilled trade, workflow, work pool for all the work that may be coming out or should be coming out in this year and coming year. And I think you're busy, guys. You're busy today.
Oh, we're busy. Yeah, we've been busy out here on Long Island for the past 9-10 years. We've had pretty much full employment, even in the winter months, which usually you would see a real downturn. Even this winter, I got full employment. I got travelers from other jurisdictions working in from Jersey, Connecticut, some from the Midwest, working in the area. So, which is usually pretty rare for the winter time to have travelers, and I think I got about 70, 80 travelers right now in the jurisdiction. Plus my all my members working, and should continue. We got plenty of work.
Yeah.
We got a couple projects that are stalled right now with the offshore wind.
I was going to say.
I think they'll come to an agreement with with the president, the Trump administration, to get those back up and running, because there's so much money invested, with the Empire Wind and Sunrise Wind. We had a ton of guys working on the offshore wind, more with the on ground, with the converter station and all the conduit work that had to go out to Smith's Point, but we still get quite a bit, with the offshore.
Yeah. I was going to mention in regards to offshore. Yeah, I mean those are just incredible projects to see. I mean, what you guys can develop and the work that's entailed. That's out there.
Yeah,
you're like maritime. You're out there for months just sitting on some of those things. Sometimes.
Yeah, the guys, they actually just came back right before Christmas when the jobs got shut down by the federal government. But they were out. They usually go out for 3 weeks. They work 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts, and then they come back for a week and then go back out.
Wow. I don't think I could do it. Again, that's why it's a different.
Yeah.
There's people that could handle the trades. This is a career for some people, not for everybody. And
we finished, South Fork Wind, which was the first offshore wind project to be, come online. That was done last year. That was only I think 12 turbines, a small project. But the Sunrise one that's going on right now, I believe it's about 80, 90 turbines going on out there. So. We got to get that up and running. Let's hope
everything gets back on the.
President Trump kind of gets back on point with it, because it's good for everybody to have the offshore wind, the battery storage, solar, natural gas. I mean, we need it all. I tell everybody, if you want to grow this island, you want good paying jobs, you got to have all these AI data centers.
I was just going to mention that.
I hear Pennsylvania is going crazy with AI data centers. Let's not let Pennsylvania have them all. Let's have a couple here on Long Island, but they do require a lot of power. And we don't have enough power right now. And we're not going to build another powerhouse in the next year or two. It's going to take a while to get, the gas-fired powerhouse like a Caithness 2 up and running. So let's get the offshore wind going, the battery storage, another, gas powerhouse. And let's get these data centers, because that's the future right now.
That's what you're seeing. I mean, everything's online right now. So, I mean, in the world of electricians or just general trades, there's just a shortage because people are aging out.
Yes.
We were talking about before. again, we're a little bit older. You got the whole next generation of people.
Yeah.
This is the career. These are the opportunities for them, and it's kind of just sitting. Just here's that golden ticket career opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with a union career with the negotiated benefits and the pensions and the overall packages that are really created to make sure that you have a sustainable living.
Well, you need it here on Long Island. We all know,
absolutely.
how expensive it is with our taxes and and everything else. So, you get in the trades, you'll live a good middle class life.
Yeah.
All right.
And I believe when you have that skill set, you could do anything, and you're transferable to go anywhere.
You can go anywhere. I mean, when things were slow, 15, 20 years ago, before I came into the office, I worked in Gary, Indiana. I worked in Philadelphia. I worked in Delaware on some oil refineries in Delaware and Philly. When I was in Indiana, I worked at U.S. Steel. So I spent quite a bit of time on the road. I worked up on the Palisades Mall, if anybody knows, right over Tappan Zee Bridge. I worked up there. That's 20. My daughter's 27, so about 27 years ago. Drive up there every day with a couple of guys. We carpooled, so wow. I know what it's like to travel. That's for sure. Yeah. I did my time living in hotels and being on the road away from my family when my kids were small. So I know the deal.
Absolutely. And again, that's why, growing from where you were to where you are today, just the whole progression, being able to relate with those members that are just getting started because you were in their shoes as well.
Yeah.
I think that's, a testament to a good leader and just understanding what their members actually do need. And again, you've walked in people's shoes to be able to facilitate that.
Yeah, I've seen it all, in the 39 years that I've been doing this, from apprentice, I'm interviewing kids, and I remember the day I interviewed, and actually I interviewed twice because I didn't get in on my first time I got in when I was 20. So when I was 18, I interviewed, I didn't get in.
You weren't qualified enough for yet?
Yeah, I didn't have enough. And back then, now you really need a lot more to get in. It's so much more competitive, having, like I said, 1,200 applications. But I got into my second time, and so I was 20 when I got in. So I'm dating myself now, would say, 39 years. So, but
you got gray hair, and I got I got no hair.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a moment to thank DeWalt Tools for all their support of the ULA network and our mission to support, educate, and promote union labor in our communities. Thank you. You still connected to the crew that you started out with, like some of the guys, the members and men and women?
Well, it's funny, I don't have that many guys left from my apprenticeship class because I was definitely one of the younger guys. And we only had about 36 apprentices back in 1987. But it turns out my son just went to work on Monday, and his foreman is one of the guys I went to apprenticeship school. My buddy Dave. So I was like, when he came home, and my son doesn't live with me. When he called me, he goes, "Hey, I'm working for Dave," and, Dave Kirker. And I said, "Oh man, Dave's a great guy." And we had a lot of fun back in the day at the old Union Hall, which was right around the corner here, right in Melville, right down on the North Service Road. We sold that building 30 years ago. We used to, play football, before class, and hacky sack, if anybody remembers that. The little beanbag, kicking that thing around. So it was, it's twofold now. He's a second-year apprentice and, working for a friend of mine who we were apprentices, 39 years ago. Going back to union labor, these locals, the solidarity, and just the connections that you have for a lifetime, this does become family. And this is family to me. It's family to you as well. Yeah. Just looking at the members and watch them grow within their careers. You want them to be successful. Yeah, I tell all my members at every union meeting, this is one big family. This is your home away from home. Yeah. I tell the kids, I go in every year, me and the president, John Guadagno, we go in, we talk to the first-year apprentices, as a class. We go in there and we tell them, hey, any problems, my door's always open. And I'm not going to go into everything I've seen over the years. I've seen a lot of good, but I've seen a lot of bad. Absolutely. And it just comes with life, and I tell these kids, you got an issue, my door's open. Yeah. I have kids, so I know, it's, absolutely. I'm a dad. Absolutely. And that's the benefit of being part of a labor union, that organization that really is looking out for your best interest, negotiating the best
type benefits that are available for you as well. When those issues do arise, we understand, the substance abuse and suicide rates of the building trades as well, the MAP-related services that are out there.
Seen both of them.
And
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
But, with labor identifying and understanding these are major concerns, having these organizations like the IBEWs and organizations that you work with putting together these programs to make sure that they do have a resource and a phone or person to contact to help facilitate and make sure that their jobs or their lives are still going smoothly, versus just working for one employer. Maybe that's there. You have an international and a local that's looking out for your best interests, which for me, just like, hey, you're part of an organization that's much bigger than you. And that brother and sisterhood, you look out for everybody.
We do.
And that's makes me proud to be a part of. Again,
Me
because
too.
I wish I had a card, but I work alongside organized labor, just understanding those particular benefits, and the platform with ULA, our network, our foundation, really is built lock and step or in line with labor to make sure that we're identifying, promoting, and interviewing people that are really inspiring, that's had careers with tough lives and now are really successful people, and kind of walk that next generation down that particular path to make sure that they are successful in the future. And
And Mike, and we appreciate everything that you and Stephanie do.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, all what you've done over the last 3 years for the trades has been great.
Yeah.
I've never done this before. This is my first time ever doing. I don't know. We're doing a podcast. I don't know, interview. I don't know.
listen, but you know what? This is the
And it's great. And now everything is about social media. And
absolutely.
And I'm not like a social media guy. I'm not on Facebook. I don't do any of that stuff. I text and I email. That's about it. And I don't even do Instagram. I might have to ask my kids certain things. But what you and Steph have done for the trades is.
I'm so proud to just be affiliated and get that recognition, and to be able to work with you and for you and some of the other union organizations. It's the biggest and highest honor for me, because I get to sit down with somebody like yourself that's got that experience and work along your executive board and meet some of the members that are out there. I just feel like a sponge. I feel like I'm learning every day. And some of the communications tools to really make relevant of all the great work that you're doing, so that communities and those signatories or non-signatories understand what it is that you are actually doing and why they should be paid appropriately, so that people can have those good lives is instrumental. And I feel like a 3-year apprentice. We're still going through as we learn all these different tech tools that are out there to really reach those membership and have them engaged and utilizing the services that are out there for them. So I love it. As you know.
I love going to work every day.
And so do I.
I'm in the office at 7 in the morning. I'm on that expressway. I leave the house at 6:15, and I can't wait to get to work every day.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And for me, getting to go
I have an adrenaline rush every morning just in the shower because I know every day is different. There's always something new going to happen, something different.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad. Most of the time it's good.
Yeah. And in today's world, we're looking at all the positive stuff, especially for, again, there's platforms out there, there's a lot of stuff on social media, union, non-union, there's a lot of fight. There's always a fight in regards to some of those things.
Yeah, hey, I have no problem, no grudge against non-union. I look at it like this. I represent contractors. I have over 200 contractors. I say 2,000 members. If a non-union guy wants to come in, I sit down with him one-on-one. We sign contractors all the time. We're there for him, for the contractor, and for his men. We're just going to help you,
right?
And
the training centers are really just the breeding ground. You're going to get the best in class, fully trained people, and that's where your JTC.
We'll bring their people right in. We'll train them. You can talk to any contractor over the last 10 years that has signed a collective bargaining agreement, and some of them, kicked and screamed. And we don't go out putting rats up or, doing really that type of stuff anymore. I look at it, if you want to be with us, great. If not, okay, it is what it is,
Right.
You're going to do better with us. Your employees are going to do better with us, all right? we're going to train your employees. You're going to be able to grow because we have the pool of manpower.
I was going to say.
Try and get a non-union electrician out there right now. You're not getting anybody. You're going to struggle.
Right.
Because I'm even struggling to get manpower as a union because we're very busy. The whole Northeast is busy.
That's what we're talking about.
The whole country, I think, is busy. So,
yeah.
you know, like I said, you want to call me tomorrow, say, hey, you want to have, breakfast or coffee, come to my union hall, sit down, I'll show you what we do. You want to sign with us? You do. If not, all right, good luck.
Exactly. And like you said, the 200 plus signatories that you have that you work with today.
Nobody leaves.
Yep.
They usually retire out.
Right.
That's when they leave. Nobody calls me, after 5 years and goes, hey, this isn't for me anymore. Because by then they've grown their business. They've made so much money that they're not going anywhere.
I wish I could be an electrician too. It's like you look at just plugging in these TVs right now and everything else and putting stuff on the wall and everything's the world of electric today. So
it's changing. And that's a great thing about being an electrician. Changes all the time.
Exactly.
Never gets boring.
Exactly. Again, I just love going through the training centers. I feel like they're like the best in class universities for people to get all the certifications and just be able to be as diversified as they choose to be. They have the opportunity to go back, based on being a member of that of the local, and learn as much as they can.
And they're always learning. So,
Yeah.
when you're doing it as an apprentice after 5 years, the industry's always changing. So you have to go back and learn new technology. And we're always changing with the times. We have all journeyman skill improvement classes. So as a journeyman, some new technology comes out. The apprenticeship director, Chris Kelly, will have a class on whatever new technology. And you sign up for it and you take the class.
Yeah, Chris is great too. I mean, I walk by it. You have
He's another one you should probably do a podcast because he can talk about the schooling and everything, and he's been doing it for a long time.
We'll definitely get Chris. I mean, again, all the stuff that he does at the training center, NICA as a whole, and all the you look at these organizations that really support the education.
And maybe you get AJ from my contractors association. He runs the contractors association for NICA, and we're partners. I'm actually tonight. They have their installation dinner for their newly elected officers, and I'll be there.
The tie on, all set up.
Yep, I'll have a sport jacket on tonight.
Change out the zipper.
Yeah, they'll it's a little more formal,
I got you.
We, like I said, I talk to my contractors every day. All right, there's no animosity between the IBEW and NICA. I'm trying to get, this morning I'm talking to a contractor how we're going to get this job. All right. From the non-union, it's like, that's what we do. We have to put together, ways to, different ways, to build a mousetrap, as they'll say.
Absolutely. And listen, you have a skilled trade pool. You want to make sure you're putting them to work. Right?
Yeah.
So they have all
that's
the certifications.
My job. That's my ultimate job is to keep everybody working.
Yep.
And over the last 10 years, we've done okay.
Again, I'm just proud to know you.
Listen,
it's no BS. It's no bullshit. Believe me. I mean, again, you get to meet people that you've kind of worked with, you've known, and now you form friendships and understand really what their work ethic and where their mind and their heart is, and to be just be aligned with some people of that mindset. You could do really good things, and like you said, over the past 3 years, we're starting to really, organize ourselves. To really collaborate with people that have that like mindset that we can work with, and make a difference in organized labor with the training and the education from a diversified group of skilled trades as well as public sector. I mean, we talk about public sector. You probably have people working in the public sector as electricians, and those are even that's the double golden ticket, right? I mean, because you're literally the work is always moving if you're working for a city or a municipality, it's always there.
Well, yeah, I mean, we work in the school districts. I mean, we get a ton of work in the school districts, and SUNY Stony Brook. We got guys over there, and Brookhaven Lab. I mean, we got so much work coming over there.
Right.
The next year or two, they got this big, a collider, electron collider. That's a couple $1 billion project. But they're doing a lot of infrastructure work there for the last probably 2 years. So we every library, fire department, we do it all.
You do it all.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys are gonna lock that. It's good.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
Kevin, I just want to thank you. I mean, again, getting you out here, working with your local, meeting such inspiring members that are out there as well. All the great stuff that you do at your just your meeting hall. I mean, that's a place where people can rent, and again, you host so many different events there as well on behalf of a lot of different training locals.
Yeah.
So, the full bar there, people can rent it out.
Yeah, we have weddings, sweet 16s, first, baby birthdays, stuff like that. I had my daughter's first birthday, 27 years ago. And
full restaurant. People can rent that out, right?
Yeah,
people rent it out.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody listening, IBEW 25 is the place to go for your next wedding. Go.
And we give it, we let the other trades use it. Some of them have their union meetings at our hall. When the police have their contract negotiations, we let them have their ratifications, and whatever union needs to use our hall. 1049s used it. The railroad, whoever needs us, we're there for them.
Gotcha.
We're here to help.
And that you do help.
We try.
So, all right. Well, as we round down this our sit down at our podcast with IBEW 25, some quick fire fun questions rounds right here. So, if you weren't in the electrical trade, what do you think you'd be doing? What career would you have? What do you think you've done?
I don't know, because my father was in the business, so I don't think I'd be. This was it. There wasn't anything else. I went to college for like a year, just to get some schooling in, because I needed the math to get into the apprenticeship. But there was really nothing else.
You knew this is where you were going to go.
Yeah, there was nothing else.
All right, so you were born to be an electrician into the world.
I guess, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Which is great, which is good, and you've done it. Now you get the career. What's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I'm into Harley Davidsons, and I've had a bunch of bikes over the years, and I like messing with them. So, I tell people I had a suicide shift foot clutch motorcycle back in the day, people go, "Really?" I go, "Yeah." So,
you still have some of the bikes today?
Yeah, I still ride.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I don't have that one. That one was I got rid of a few years ago. It was a little hairy to ride.
Yeah. Oh, with the
hand shift and all that. Yeah.
Is there an IBEW motorcycle club?
There is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Within 25?
Yeah.
What's your crew? All right, good. That's
I'm a member.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You could connect up with the bricklayers, because I know they do some fundraising events that are upstate New York too. They just
the IBEW has a yearly run. Usually it's in Virginia or Pennsylvania. They have a yearly run. Local 3's got a big motorcycle club.
Yeah. I see them at Labor Day Parade.
Yeah. So
they put the car alarms and people's apartments buildings go off. The alarms go off with when they rev it up.
Yeah, I've had motorcycles since I was 20 years old. So
I've never been on a bike. Well, maybe on the back of somebody else's at the time.
Yeah.
How do you like to unwind after a long day?
A couple beers.
Yep.
Cool. Just hanging at home, my dogs and my wife, My wife kind of knows, no dinner plans on Fridays. Saturday night, we want to go out, because by Friday I'm shot from, I'm out a lot.
Absolutely.
With this job.
Without a doubt.
So Friday nights, I just kind of want to come home and chill out. It's nice out, sit on my porch, have a beer, dogs, hang with the wife. And then Saturday night, we'll go out for dinner with friends and stuff like that. So that's all.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty, just
chill.
Yeah, I'm just a regular guy. I don't really travel that much unless it's work related, because, there's a lot of conferences with the trades and stuff. So,
That's really.
I like being home.
Yeah.
I try not to take the job home with me too much. You have to learn to kind of shut it off, because otherwise it'll really eat you up. So when I go home, unless something's really crazy going on, I try not to talk about work at home. And
They already know it. It's been your life forever. So
It has. My wife don't want to hear it anyway because when my father was alive, that's all we talked about. And my son's an apprentice, so that's when he comes over, that's all we talk about. My brother isn't a local, so when he comes over, so after a while, she's like, all right, enough.
Enough electric already. What's going on? Too much stuff.
Yeah.
No, but it's great. And you talked about travel. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, there's so many different conferences, leadership conferences,
benefits conferences,
or educational conferences.
Yeah, I'm flying out to Seattle on Thursday, a week from today, for the EWMC National Conference.
Mm-hmm.
They always have that right around Martin Luther King week in January. It's a great conference. I think they'll have like over 800 delegates there. So, and then we come back, and then there's a conference in Florida. January through March is the very busy time of the year.
Right.
Building trades and IBEW conferences.
We'll be in Florida. I know we'll be at that, some of the conferences down there.
Yeah.
February, March time frame.
Busy time.
Yep. Yeah.
You just come right out of all the holidays, and the holidays is busy with us, for our members because we do the Christmas parties for the kids, and we have parties for all the officers, and our union meetings is a big union meeting. We raffle off a lot of gifts and stuff for the members, and so you get done with all the holidays, and then you have about a week to breathe, and then off you go. You're into all these conferences.
Yep.
So.
Again, I want to thank you, Kev, for everything.
And I want to thank you, Michael. You and Steph have done such a great job for all of us, especially for my local. You're always calling me with stuff, sending me stuff. I know you're posting stuff for us all the time. So I just want to thank you and Steph for
it's a pleasure. It's an honor, and I'm proud to work alongside you and to promote all the incredible work that your local and you guys have done.
Well, thank you.
It just makes me it makes me have like a fulfilling life because my past career outside of like media has been in banking and macro. You look at where's the money come from? It's in your membership and that future growth of driving more members, more opportunities, more employment, and that's what I look at. If I can give back to labor in any which way, it'll be to inspire and promote the opportunities and the careers that have been set forth by leadership and how it really does make a difference in the communities. And that community development piece, because I know we're going to touch base with John as well and a lot of the stuff that he's doing with the nonprofits.
Yeah.
This is inspiring work, and you guys do just a phenomenal job. So, again, thank you.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, I'm going to read this down. If you're inspired by today's conversation, we encourage you to learn more about the opportunities in the union trades and how organizations like IBEW Local 25 are building stronger careers, stronger families, and stronger communities. This has been another episode of the Union Labor Advisory Network, where we support, educate, and promote the people who are changing and building the American workforce. I'm Mike Fina. See you next time. Thank you. I'd like to thank all our sponsors for helping to build and promote the ULA network. It is because of you that we're able to support, educate, and promote informative content relevant to labor. Please subscribe, like, and share our channel and media. I'd like to thank you all for your support.